G'day fellas and welcome to a Civilization preview for Joan of Arc, coming November 14th with the Age of Empires 4 expansion pack, The Sultan's Ascend. They've updated the website and now it's time for us to dive in and check how the new variant civilization for the French is going to be working in this expansion. Joan of Arc's presence on the battlefield is far-reaching, featuring abilities that deal damage, heal allies, and inspire villagers and soldiers alike. Progress Joan. Let's go with Joan. Progress Joan through 4 levels, with each tier offering a new choice that enables Joan of Arc to support her army. That is correct. We are League of Legends now. We are Dota 2 now. We're Heroes of New Earth now. Rest in peace. It is time for us to become the one true MOBA. In the Dark Age, Joan takes the role of a villager who gains experience by constructing buildings and gathering resources. Once level 2 is reached, Joan of Arc must choose her path, equipping a sword or bow to fight with. That's interesting. A sword or bow. You can choose. Do you want a men-at-arm? Well, I guess in this case a woman-at-arm. Or do you want an archer? And unlocking several new abilities which can turn the tides of battle. From level 2 and on, Joan of Arc gains experience by engaging in combat. By late game, Joan has completed the journey of a hero and is fielding large armies supported by her powerful abilities and companions. So look, just first and foremost, this is a lot different from the Mongol Khan that you are used to. This is a lot different from the Age of Empires 3 hero systems. We're MOBAs now. This is awesome though. I love the design, I love the direction of it. It's super duper cool. Now, obviously, I've had my hands on it. I know what the abilities are. I know the progression. I love it to pieces. I think it's an amazing way to change the civilization. And I got a sneaky suspicion. 99% of players who used to play the French will never play the French again. It's only the Joan of Arc from here. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you. Let's take a look and see what we've got, though, in these pictures. Joan of Arc's companions at a glance. Joan's champion. An elite melee unit skilled at countering enemy spearmen. The champion's incredible durability makes it an excellent frontline unit. Joan's champion becomes available once Joan reaches level 3 and is stronger when in close proximity to Joan of Arc. And then we've got Joan's riders, a fast cavalry unit with exceptional ranged armor. The rider charges into battle at Joan's side, ready to run down any crossbowman forces nearby. Just crossbowmen specifically. No archers, not running those down, just the crossbows. Joan's riders become available once Joan reaches level 3 and is stronger when in close proximity to Joan of Arc. So you've got that mutual exclusivity here, and I love that. It really changes the way that each of the decisions that you make affects your game, and I love that. That is so cool. And we take a look now at Joan of Arc's levels. Level 1, you can see right here at level 1, she has the basic abilities. She's a basic bit. Sorry. From these humble beginnings, Joan of Arc will pursue the journey of a hero by gaining experience, leveling up, and gaining access to improved combat power and impactful abilities. Level 2, Joan can choose to become an archer. It's going to take me a while to remember that that's pronounced Joan and not Jean, because it looks like a genie to me. At level 2, Joan can choose to become an archer or a woman-at-arms, gaining an ability based on this choice. Joan of Arc also gains additional abilities such as Divine Restoration, which heals nearby allies for a percentage of their missing health. Level 3, Joan of Arc mounts a horse for combat while retaining her weapon of choice. She also chooses her companion units for the rest of the game, either the Joan's Riders or Joan's Champions. The selected companion will be summoned via the Rally Call ability and becomes available to train at keeps. And then finally, level 4. This is from the Steam pictures, which I thought was campaign. I genuinely thought it was campaign. I'm like, this is not a weapon. This appears to not to... I don't know what it is. It looks like something you'd use to draw a painting. Drongo, that looks nothing like a paintbrush. All right, good point. At level 4, Joan has completed the journey of the hero. Now Joan wields a heavy cannon based on her weapon choice. Her Rally Call ability produces additional units. Joan of Arc's companions are upgraded to elite, and she gains a powerful ultimate ability. Ladies and gentlemen, we are Dota 2 now. It is official. Welcome, one and all of you Dota 2 fans. Me personally, I'm an SF main. Okay, Shadow Fiend, that's my big thing. You'll find me in the mid lane, and you'll find me maining Joan of Arc. That is for sure. Look, I'm more of a Byzantine main, I'll be honest with you guys, but if there's no chance I'm ever playing the French again. I'm all Joan from here. But look, this isn't the only thing that we're going to be covering in this video. We've got more news for you. Now, hold on, I got to drop the mic here. People were getting real angry. Now, I was going to make a video covering it, but I said, you know what? There's already been some pretty good coverage on it, so I'm not going to really bother because I don't really have a dog in the race. You know, when the civilizations or the variant civs, the names got announced, I was just like, oh yeah, okay, that's cool. I didn't even think twice about it, but there was like a whole faction on Reddit that was rising up like it was the worst thing since bread stopped getting sliced. You know how, I don't know about you guys, but at our supermarket, they stopped slicing the bread and they have a big slicer and you have to slice it yourself. That was pretty bad. And these Redditors thought that this was the worst thing since that had happened. That's how terrible it was. Good news is, for those Redditors, there's been a couple of name changes. Bad news is, I don't think you're going to like them either. Let's take a look first and foremost at the name changes. So we've got the Joan of Arc, of course, that's sticking. The Order of the Dragon, which is the variant for the Holy Roman Empire, that's sticking. And then we've got Shuxi's Legacy, which is a variant of the Chinese. I don't think you're going to like that. And then we've got the Ayyubids, which is the variant of the Abbasid dynasty. So I can't remember exactly what the names were before. I think we had the Empire of the Jade for the Chinese, which I didn't mind. I was like, yeah, that's cool, Jade Empire. I played a little bit of Xbox, didn't mind it. My cousin, Glenn, he thought it was the best BioWare RPG since Coda. It was like a couple months after Coda. And then for the Ayyubids, what was that? The Sultan's Army? I think it was before that. So now you've just got like a little bit more refinement on that. So look, sure. Hopefully you guys like it. Anyway, let's go quickly through this FAQ and take a look at a bit of a deep dive into the Sultan's Ascend. It's been posted here by Emma Bridle. Of course, I'll leave a link in the description to where you can catch both of these on the Age of Empires website. But let's break it down. So, the Sultan's Ascend, new expansion for Age of Empires 4 coming November 14th, available for pre-order now. The upcoming expansion will bring a host of new ways to play, including 8 mission campaign, 2 new civs, Japanese and Byzantines. I like that they're calling them Japanese and Byzantines, not Japan and Byzantines. That feels much better. Wait, no, it was a Japan and Byzantines or the Japanese and Byzantines, not yeah, I don't know about this. Anyway, 4 new variant civilizations. The one name I've got a problem with is Japanese. There you go. Give me Empire of the Jade any day. Japanese, it needs to be the Japanese or Japan. No way it's sticking with that. Anyway, 2 new biomes, 10 new maps, new unlockable rewards. Between now and launch, we'll be sharing deeper looks at what's included in the expansion. Let's get that music back on, Drongo. Thank you. After hearing player feedback, we're starting with a deep dive on variant civilizations, which are new to both Age of Empires 4 and the Age of Empires franchise as a whole. We're pairing this deep dive with a look at Joan of Arc civilization. You can learn more about how it's constructed. I apologize. It's 3 a.m. in the morning. I woke up this morning about 6 o'clock. Thanks to my son. He likes to test me. I haven't slept yet, so apologies. So you can learn more about how it's structured. The new elements you'll have to play with and allow you to start thinking of strategies. What is a variant civilization? And this is a good question. I like this because some people are going to come in with this because before this video, no one's got any idea about what a variant civilization is. But I want to just tell you straight off the bat, okay? Just dropping the mic again. I want to tell you guys off the bat, I am so happy that they're doing this. I want to tell you a story. Just a quick one. Age of Empires 3 community, which recently we've had some harsh words with them. I don't want to talk about it. I will say this much. They had a civilization in Age of Empires 3 called the Ottomans. And it was a civilization that was rather unique. They played differently to all the other civilizations. And the development team, for whatever reason, decided to completely rework the Civ. Absolutely just destroyed the previous Civ and just gave them like new everything. And I hated that because it meant that people who had played the Ottomans for so damn long now couldn't play the Ottomans. They still had the Ottomans and the Ottoman flag and the Ottoman hero, but it was a completely new Civ. And I hated that. And I thought to myself, if you're going to go and create something that's so brand new, so redefining, just create a new Civ. And I'm just so thankful that the devs took this route for variant civilizations, because had they gone in and say, hey guys, guess what? The French, we're keeping the name, but they get a hero unit now. It's Joan of Arc, and every French player gets it. I would fucking hate that. I would absolutely hate that. But I like this because you've got the choice. If I want to go play vanilla French, I can do it. If I want to get the chocolate version and get myself some delicious Joan of Arc action, I can do it now. Anyway, let's get to it. What is a variant civ? A variant civ is a modified version of a classic civ that you already know and love from the core game. They offer new gameplay elements and strategies while keeping the familiarity and identity of the classic civilization intact. Love it. Variant civs are not designed to replace the classic civ they are derived from, but instead provide an alternative way to play. We start with historical inspiration from some element in the history of the classic civilization and then build gameplay from that theme. The elements can be a single individual like Joan of Arc, a philosophy like the Neo-Confucianism of Shu. I am going to have to learn to pronounce that correctly. Shu Si. Or a particular historical group within a broader culture like the Order of the Dragon. Although these seeds are often small moments, we explore the what-if of keeping the focus throughout that journey through the Four Ages. Historically, Joan of Arc lived at what would have been the early part of the Imperial Age, but we feature her across all 4 ages in the variant that bears her name. This builds on some of the historical extensions of the classical civilizations such as the Abbasid dynasty, the Delhi Sultanate, having full gunpowder units, even though those particular groups never adopted gunpowder in mass. Not everything changes between classic and variant. Many basic units and buildings remain the same, as do music and historical speech. Each variant has its own list of changes, which might be a new set of landmarks, new units, revised or wholly new technologies or civilization mechanics or more. The changes are always significant, however, and remake how the civilization plays. Players of a parent or variant civilization will be making very different choices and pursuing different strategies throughout a match. And I love this. I love this so much because I just want to break that down a little bit more. Each variant has its own list of changes, which might be a new set of landmarks, new units, revised or wholly new technologies or civilization mechanics or more. Now, there's obviously not a lot that I can say about this because it's all covered under NDA. So I'll try and not go into it as in too much depth. But out of these 4 variants, the French is by far the closest civilization to its main base, to its parent faction. I don't think I could say much more than that. And in saying that, it is a civilization that has a hero unit. Like, quite literally, a Dota 2 hero unit has come all the way over from what's the League of Legends map called? I want to say come from that map, has come over into Age of Empires 4. And that's the closest to vanilla that you guys are going to get. So it's going to get absolutely wild in here. For the other civilizations, we will find those out in the upcoming days, in the upcoming weeks. Obviously, we've still got some time, about 2 months before this expansion releases. Speaking of expansions, let's expand that music out, Drongo. So, look, I'm absolutely pumped because it allows you to have this familiarity with the civilization, but at the same time still be able to experience it in a different way, and it gives you that flexibility. Maybe you're not feeling like having a Holy Roman Empire day. Maybe you want an Order of the Dragon kind of day, but I think the big thing for me is that it now increases the matchups that you've got, and this is just such like an RTS, you're such an esports player. Yeah, sure, okay. It just means that I have so many more matchups now. Instead of facing against the French and then the English and then the French and then the English, now it's the English and then the English and then the French and then Joan of Arc. Well, to be honest, once this expansion comes out, it's probably going to be the English, Joan of Arc, the Byzantines, and then the English again. The point is that we've got more variability in our matchups, and that always excites me because the more options you've got, the less likely you are to see the same thing over and over and over again. Oh, it's another Rus mirror, that sort of boring stuff. So look, I'm excited. I love it. Give me more numbers. I would take a variant civilization for every single base civilization we have in this game very happily. And I think the best thing about this is we can do multiples. If you want to have 2 variant civilizations for the same civ, we can definitely do that. That is 100% a possibility, and that's what's so exciting. The variants in addition to that, I just want to say that obviously there's a lot of work that goes into the variant civilizations, but at the same time, it also allows you to borrow off the base mechanics and off the base art. So it wouldn't be that hard. It's like adding an AoE 2 civilization. It's really not that difficult. You swap out a couple zeros to put them into ones, the ones down to zeros, and throw a few other numbers around, and you got yourself a whole new basic civ, a whole new variant civ. Anyway, let's get down onto the next question. Why are variant civilizations being introduced? Good question. First and foremost, all civs in Age of Empires are there to deliver excellent and engaging experiences to our players. The classic civilizations are there to capture the history of civilizations over several centuries, capturing the evolution of whole cultures and expressing them as broad gameplay themes supported by art, music, speech, and much more. Variant civilizations take an element of that broad historical suite and build a fresh game experience around it. The variant civilizations are also a great opportunity for us to explore gameplay mechanics that push the envelope. The Joan of Arc variant civilization, for example, is entirely focused on a hero unit who gains levels and transforms throughout the match. This is not something we have seen in Age of Empires 4 before, and variants allow us to really lean into these mechanics. I think they're 100% on the money with this, and I love this approach. As I said, I think the closest you probably had from before would be like the Age of Empires 3 heroes, which through the ages got access to new abilities, but it was nothing like, it was like a crack shot ability, like a snipe ability. It didn't really, it wasn't game breaking, man. It wasn't like an Enigma ulti, that sort of thing, which I'm sure Joan doesn't have, but if she did, absolutely awesome. Anyway, what was the inspiration for variant civilizations? History. Okay, there you go. Since there you go. Since announcing the variant civilizations, you've changed 2 of the names. Why is this? I'm gonna go with Reddit. Next question. The names for the variant civilizations are this. Naming things is difficult. We need to balance historicity with trying to represent what is unique about a civilization. We talk a lot about names. We try out options. We consult with experts. We test and reflect. But sometimes we miss things or get things wrong. Some members of our community raise concerns that a few of our names were needlessly vague and needlessly exoticizing. That I don't think I've ever pronounced exoticizing or historicity. Those are some new words to add to the repertoire. World's Edge and Relic take such concerns very seriously, and after much discussion and consultation with experts, we have decided to make some changes. We won't always get things right, but we are listening and always learning, and we appreciate your sharing your thoughts. We appreciate you sharing your thoughts with us. Your voices are a part of our development process, and we'll continue to hear. So, look, I think for the most part, like, the civilization names are fine at the moment. I would say with the exception of, like, the Chinese one. I don't really understand that one. I don't know why you just didn't go with, like, honestly, like, Empire of the Jade was fine. Why were people mad about that, bro? Just, it's fine. I was talking to my wife about this. So you have this joke, you know, so our sons, our son and our next son, they've got like I wouldn't say exotic names, but they're not common names. And anyway, I always joke with her, you know, we've got our first son and he's got this beautiful Italian name, and the second son, he's got another beautiful Italian name, and the third son, his name will be Kevin. Just Kevin, that's it. And I kind of feel like you've got that here with, you know, well, we've got the Chinese, and we've got the Rus, and we've got the Mongols, and then we've got the Order of the Dragon. And then you've got Shuxi's legacy. I understand. Like, if there's a theme here, these two definitely did not get the correct colors when it came to the invitation. They were told blue, everyone else turned up in white. It's one of those things. Anyway, I want to thank the devs for coming to the table on this one, because it would have been very, very easy to just say, no, we're sticking with it. They didn't. They've changed it. Mad respect. That's a hard thing to do. So good on you guys. Hopefully we're still looking to change. Nah, look, I've got no dog in the race. I really don't care. Yeah, we'll leave it there. I mean, what else is there to talk about, really? I mean, obviously, to just give you my opinion, I absolutely love it. I can tell you right now, having played Joan quite a bit, it completely changes the way the French plays. I don't know how, if you were a French main before this expansion, you ever go back to being a French main. And there's a part of me that kind of dreads that in a way, because it's like, well, now you've got what do we do with the French? Like, they're just going to be sitting on the sideline for the rest of eternity. Not to say that it's going to stay that way forever. I mean, obviously, Joan would be the new shiny thing and probably stay that way for about 6 months. And eventually, you might get the French back into, you know, the meta or something like that. But yeah. Anyway, look, as I said, that's the most tame of the 4 reworks, or not the 4 reworks, the 4 variants. Just wait and see what we got around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. I can assure you, you're going to enjoy it. I can tell you right now, it's an absolute treat. Anyway, we'll leave it there. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like. And of course, if you've got any questions, leave them down below. We'll get right to it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.